Top of the hour, more firepower. It's Pro Baseball Today. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Tom Vecchio. Did you ever watch, Tom, did you ever see the movie The Shining with Jack Nicholson? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
We almost had a little shining moment this past weekend between the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies, where the Phillies are locking themselves behind a door, and here comes Jack Nicholson and the New York Mets here pounding that door with an axe and sticking their head.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Johnny, like, oh no, the Mets are going to catch the Phillies. And then the Phillies get the Atlanta Braves, handle their business. Then the Marlins come to town against the Mets, and they can't handle their business. And now we line up with a chance for the Marlins to get out of Dodge here with a sweep against the New York Mets. Alcantara versus Senga, a favorite overnight time, minus 185, no longer. Minus 168, minus 175. So money coming in, it looks like, on the Marlins, and a total from 7.5 overnight up till 8. Senga's more of a name right now, Tom, because we're going to get into some of those statistics to tell you why. What's up with Senga?
What's up with Senga is he has been terrible as of late. If we look at over the last 45 days, at least that I'm seeing, Donnie, he's the worst pitcher on the slate when it comes to xFIP at 5.21. Yeah. His ERA is at 6.10. He's giving up hits. He's giving up home runs. He's not striking anyone out. 3.42, 1.4 when it comes to earned runs over his last starts. And Sandy on the other side has been pretty solid. The money line for the Mets, I think, is a bit much at minus 172. They are the better team. We all agree with that. They've been playing terribly in these last two games. Senga has been pitching terribly. To see the Marlins get an early lead and then the Mets come back and win, I don't think that would shock anyone. Point being, Mets as an in-game play, closer even money, minus 110, even if you get them at plus money, because Senga gives up 4 earned runs over the first 2 innings. That's what I could realistically see happening. So I don't mind the over, as we've seen a ton of runs in the first 2 games, but the Mets in-game, closer to even money, that's the play to go. Alcantara's been solid, but Senga's been terrible, and I'm not going to minus 172 on the Mets.
Yeah, let me play a little theater with you, Tom, this past week with Kodai Senga pitching against the Philadelphia Phillies. I had a team total in the Phillies, Tom, 3.5 runs. I had 3 runs in the 3rd inning, and also the torture test, right, is the double down the line with 2 outs that Alec Boehm was like, I run slower than anybody in baseball. And you go, oh, I would have had a win right there. That's okay. I got the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings to come back. Then the Mets scored 13 unanswered runs. The Phillies end up with 3 runs. That's what happens sometimes. But to get back to Tom's point, Senga has been absolutely brutal. But also, Sandy Alcantara has not had a good season. Look at his last 3 starts, though, Tom. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. But if you do look at that Mets lineup, just going on 30-day numbers with ISO and weighted on base percentage, it looks as good as any lineup in baseball. But Tom is also correct. Like you're saying, all right, well, you get a lead. That bullpen stinks for the Marlins. Did you see the game yesterday? Yes, the Marlins end up winning it, but that was back and forth, rock'em, sock'em robot until finally the Marlins gave out. So it's one of those where you're right about this. Hey, what's going to happen later in the game when both of these pitchers are out? Major advantage for the New York Mets in this point, but also a heavy price point. If you are looking first 5 innings, like Senga is a guy that you want to fade. Do I love the Marlins lineup? No. But if you're just picking out a pitcher versus a team that maybe others won't look at, Senga will eventually get it together. He hasn't, Tom, at all.
He hasn't, and like you said, the way to go about it would be in-game, but a Mets team total is certainly very in play. Once again, so you get to that Marlins bullpen. And, the Mets lineup, like you said, like they've been hitting home runs left, right, and center over this past week and a half. So when you have Soto, who's been great as of late, Lindor, I think had one maybe yesterday. Pete Alonso is always great. We're seeing Vientos and Beatty hit home runs. Like everyone is chipping in-game number or Mets team total, not the money line.
Let me talk to you about the Houston Astros in this next game here, Tom. It's the Angels and the Astros of Soriano and Brown. And by the way, analytically, they love them. Last 45 days, Soriano is actually number 2 on the card today with an xFIP of a 2.82. Brown, we know the energy that he can give on the mound. I had the Astros the past 2 nights in some way, shape, or form in all team totals and also team totals. They lift 1,000 players on base. They cannot get base hits with runners in scoring position. Don't know where the power is coming from at this point. So let me tell you this, Astros, right now. You go out today and plate 5 runs in the first 5 innings against Soriano, I'm going to have an issue with that. But the total, Tom, open up at 7.5, still sits at 7.5. A favorite for Houston overnight, touching the minus 200 range. That's backtracked all the way in to the high minus 160s here. The Astros have a problem with the plate, not with opportunities, but cashing in, Tom.
They really do, and what we've seen from Hunter Brown is obviously fantastic recently on the entire season. Outside of a few blips on the radar, he's been a borderline Cy Young candidate. Like he truly has been that good. Soriano, as we've talked about before, he's a pitcher that I don't think is good. low strikeout rate pitcher, does not give up home runs, but
Yeah.
the hits and the balls in play that he gives up, a 9.9% walk rate is terrible. When it comes down to it, what is it? Yeah, it's a 65% ground ball rate he has, which means he
Yeah.
has a 16% fly ball rate, which is astronomically low. Like, that's awesome. But when he does give up hits, it's a single double, and then the 9.9% walk rate comes into play, and then it's a single double walk, no home runs. So if the Astros are not able to get runs against Soriano, I would say that's a very concerning sign for them, especially how they've been playing and not getting runs across when you have the opportunity to do so. So yes, the Astros are by far the better team, and Hunter Brown is a significantly better pitcher. But to see runs not get across on Soriano, I would say would be more surprising, despite his recent results and underlying metrics.
Yeah, sooner or later the dam is going to break for Houston. The problem is I'm not going to be waiting in front of the dam for that big splashdown. Like, oh, 7 runs today. Boy, that was easy. Absolutely been tortured the past couple of nights. Like, you see it all the time. Hey, bases loaded, nobody out. What they do in that inning? Oh, no runs.
Oh.
Thank you, guys. One base hit late in the game to get me to 3 runs. Can't get it done. But that's the fuming that your boy DRS has done with the Houston Astros. But that's a tougher game today. And it's not like, well, Donnie, just take them today. Eventually they'll hit. I actually don't like the matchup today, so I'm just not going to take them at this point, because sooner than later it's going to work out. How about this one? Scooble going to take on Kansas City today. Waka's on the other side. 965, 966 on the rotation, a 210 start time. We just talked about a total that was 7.5 in that LA-Houston matchup. We're looking at 7.5s in this as well, and a heavy favorite for the road team, the Detroit Tigers, in that minus 175 range. Scooble's last 45 days in epic, 2.53 xFIP number, great ERA. It's just what he does. But, Tom, is there weather in the atmosphere in Kansas City that we might want to watch out for today?
Yeah, this is basically the only game that has rain issues today. And, the other games, like, we'll get to some of the West Coast games, it's going to be super hot in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But this game has rain, and that presents an issue for Subel. And whether the rain comes early and then they delay the game and it throws off his routine, or they start the game and then you have an hour delay and all of a sudden, oh, hey, we're not putting Subel out there after resting for 50 minutes or an hour. This has me leaning towards the Royals. They have been playing better as of late. We talked about the Tigers up the top when we went over the divisions, where they're playing okay right now. And Walker is a pitcher where, Donnie, we would agree, he's not some type of stud, but the ground ball rate that he has, he can kind of sap the power away from opposing teams. And in this type of weird game, when the weather presents an issue for Scooble, why not just take the plus money on the Royals? I understand the Tigers are a significantly better team, but I have concerns about this game, and ultimately that leads me to a little play on the Royals, or just completely stay away because I'm worried about not getting a full Scooble effort because of the rain.
You're right about that. Like, if rain is in the forecast all afternoon, you're taking a game because you're not taking, just like Detroit today. No, you like them because Scooble's on the mound. And also you might like the bats a little bit, but Scooble's the main reason why you're betting, as opposed to, I still like them if they have a new pitcher every inning and it's a bullpen game. You might get that today, but also understand this. Michael Waka, very interesting. Analytics likes him and then doesn't like him at the same time because he's not a strikeout pitcher. Tom, you look at his ERA minus, a 60, a FIP minus, a 70, and even his xFIP minus is a 101, which is slightly above average. His ERA, though, is a 2.53, but then when you get to his Sierra number, as we told you, a 4.20 or higher is bad. That's a 4.62. How do you get a gauge on a pitcher like that, Tom?
He's just a crafty veteran that induces soft contact. Right? He's a ground ball pitcher. He's not going to strike a ton of guys out, but he walks someone and then soft contact ground ball to get a double play inning over. So he doesn't do things that are great and that analytics loves, but he still manages to find his way to get out of them, which is ultimately a bad thing when it comes to props, because you can't get runs across the board, even though he's doing bad things when it's all said and done.
See what happens in that one. Lower scoring game last night. Does it continue today? But as Tom pointed out, we got rain. And it's not just like, hey, it's going to start the game. I'm looking at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock local time, all rain in the forecast, which is never a good thing when you have your ace on the mound and a team that has the division basically wrapped up already. Do they shelve them today? We'll find out. More up next right here on Pro Baseball Today.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
Hopefully starting in 2027, where I think the schedule could just completely get blown up, which would be so exciting for the fans, the players. So there's interesting things that I've heard that that would be like one of the first things that could say that people are talking about, and that things could really get changed up a little bit.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Good news, bad news, but it's the same problem when they created this problem come draft day, right? We all knew you got too many quarterbacks. It's as simple as that. Unless one guy absolutely stinks, then you still have too many quarterbacks, because you still got Deshaun Watson, who's eligible to come off the IR this season if they really want to go down that road again.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay. I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Let's go streaking, people. It's pro baseball today. Streaking by, yes, not actually streaking yourself in the street. Don't be a moron. Don't be arrested here. The Yankees are going streaking with their uniforms on, pounding the baseball, winning games in all different ways, including going to extra innings. Oh, man, I wish I had that 4.5 total. Yanks get 5 in extras. You got to love that. But today, this is an interesting matchup. Luis Gil, some of the Yankees desperately need to snap back into form. You want to go on a pennant run here? He's got to be able to perform better than what he has. Going up against Martin Perez. Yeah, that Martin Perez. That I think has pitched since like 1992. The only issue, Tom, is Martin Perez, he should be fadeable. His last 2 starts, the guy's trying to win a Cy Young at this point. What gives? The Yankees are a heavy favorite. Minus 185s to minus 190s. A total that opened up at 8.5, now sitting at 9. I want to take the over. But why is Martin Perez holding me back?
Martin Perez is one of those pitchers, Donnie, that falls into the Kyle Hendricks, why are you succeeding when you should be getting blown up kind of territory. And, Luis Gil, when you're looking at things simply from a game log perspective, you're saying, okay, in each of his last 3 starts, he's only giving up 1 earned run. And he's gone, at least 5 innings pitched in all those. And he has 5, 3, and 4 strikeouts. However, 4, 5, and 3 walks as well. So when we're looking at Gil from an xFIP number, he is the second worst on the slate at 5.20, right behind Senga over the last 45 days. His ERA is 3.75, but he's overperforming by a run and a half because he strikes people out, but he also allows way too many on base for free. And when it comes to Martin Perez, yeah, he's been pitching forever. I don't think he's a good pitcher. Again, this is the team I think the Yankees, this is the type of pitcher I think the Yankees will struggle with. On paper, they should be blasting this guy for 5 earned runs over the first 2 innings. I will say, I kind of like the White Sox today. We have to get to the dog of the day segment. A little spoiler for that. I think the Yankees are looking ahead to Tuesday when they play at the Astros and they have an off day tomorrow. I think the White Sox are in a sneaky good spot.
It's really interesting because I look at Martin Perez, and I know Martin Perez. He's usually just that filler pitcher. Like, yeah, he has a couple good starts, but he's just an innings eater at this point. 85 pitches, 7 innings pitched, no earned runs versus Kansas City, which is unbelievable. And the time before that, he went to Atlanta, which I think I was on that game too. Like, oh, Perez is back in baseball. He should get hammered. He goes 5 1/3 and no earned runs. You look at the Yankees lineup, Tom, against the last 30 days. Sometimes you struggle with lefties. They don't. The hard contact rate is extremely high. The barrel rate is extremely high. And they say, okay, well, that's one half of the equation. You never really, I love the White Sox. Almost 75% of the days I look at the White Sox, they make sense on offense. Hard hit contact rate, barrel rate up there. Luis Gil, not a very good pitcher, but understand this. His last 45 days, Tom, you say, wait a second now. ERA 3.75, but his xFIP numbers and Sierra numbers are off the charts bad. If you're going old school analytics, look at his last 5 starts. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. That's terrible for Heel. 5 1/3, 2 earned runs. That's really good. 5 1/3, 1 earned runs. That's really good. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and then 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. What gives with Heel today? Like every analytical number we love, Tom, he's terrible at, but his ERA has been phenomenal his past 4 starts.
It's because he walks players, he gets 1 strikeout, and then he gets a ground ball and gets a double play. So fundamentally, you're not doing things well. Like I think it was against the Red Sox. I think he pitched on Saturday in the Red Sox series where he started off the inning, I think walked 2 of the first 3. There was a single. All of a sudden, there's bases loaded, and he gets out of that with only 1 earned run because you strike someone out and then you get a ground ball double play and the inning is over. So walking players is obviously terrible, and then having a lower-ish strikeout rate isn't great as well. You look at the top of this lineup, Donnie, or at least a handful, Tauchman, Teal, Montgomery, those 3 guys, the lefties, I think get some power against Heel today.
Yeah, I think they do too. Here's another interesting game because I look at that and say, like, why am I just not automatically on an over 8.5 or 9 where I can find it in that Yankees game? Because I do think they hit. Boyd versus Gordon, Cubs versus Rockies. That's an 11 total and a monster favorite for Chicago. We get it. Chicago's a better team. It's still a high price to pay in that type of an environment. But when I look and say to myself, Tanner Gordon is a bad pitcher, but his numbers, like August 10th start, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 10 earned runs. Like, please get this guy every single time we need him. We're going to crush him. His last 3 starts, though, Tom, at Colorado, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. At Colorado against the Dodgers, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Then he goes down to Houston, which Houston doesn't hit anybody, but still, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. He's been fantastic. Like, something has to give today. Like, I do think the Chicago should be able to touch. It's 6.5 as their team total. I'm not saying we automatically get 7, but he's not this good, Tanner Gordon. Come on.
No, he's not. And still, outside of those few starts, last 45 days, it's still a 7.56 ERA and a 5.09 xFIP. So, yeah, like some of this we have to take into account. He is a pitcher at Coors Field, but still he's underperforming by 2 runs, I guess, when it comes to his xFIP versus his ERA. But it's still a 5.09 xFIP isn't good when it's all said and done. So I would be looking time and time again, even if he's okay and only gives up, let's say, those 3 earned runs over 5 or 6 innings, whatever it is. Yeah. We're still getting the Cubs bats against the Rockies bullpen to get some runs across the board. And all it takes is 1 crooked number in an inning to give us 5 earned runs after they already have 2 on the board, 3 on the board, and all of a sudden we're at 8.
Not bad temps either today, Tom. 3:10 start, East Coast time. It's 76 degrees with a light wind blowing in, so we should be good there. Also, answer me this, because Colorado also is sneaky. I can't say it enough. Like, bad baseball teams can still make you money in certain instances. Maybe not by winning games, but RBI props, hitters props, you get the point. Boyd has been so good this season, but last 2 starts, Tom, 90 innings pitched, 5 1/3, 4 earned runs. 92 innings pitched, or 92 pitches, 5 1/3 innings, 5 earned runs. It's one of those scenarios where this guy has really good numbers on the season, but is he starting to leak oil now?
He is. And Boyd has put together a really, really strong season. You know, kind of one of these veteran pitchers who's a reclamation project. But 153 innings this year, is that what he has? Last year, 39 innings. In 2023, he had 71 innings, and in 2022, he had 13 innings. He has pitched 110 more innings this year. The last time he pitched over 100 innings was 2019. So maybe the attrition of the season is truly getting to him. And he was great for a while. And if you're on his props then, awesome. But this actually is the turning point of him where he actually may be struggling just due to arm fatigue. 153 innings, more than he's pitched in the last 2 seasons combined.
Yeah. Because again, some of those scenarios where Tom and I talk about, like, oh, he's got really good numbers. Just look at the last month and a half. That's going to tell you the story. Nobody cares how he pitched in 32-degree weather back in late March or early April at this point. Use these hitters if they're hot, and we'll see if they are. And I just look at that Chicago lineup. Like, they should hit. Tanner Gordon, if you come out today, 6 innings pitched and 1 earned run against the Cubs, I'm betting against the Cubs to even make the playoffs at that point here. Let's get to Baltimore and San Francisco. Run.
Time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Hopefully starting in 2027, where I think the schedule could just completely get blown up, which would be so exciting for the fans, the players. So there's interesting things that I've heard that that would be like one of the first things that could say that people are talking about, and that things could really get changed up a little bit.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Good news, bad news, but it's the same problem when they created this problem come draft day, right? We all knew you got too many quarterbacks. It's as simple as that. Unless one guy absolutely stinks, then you still have too many quarterbacks, because you still got Deshaun Watson, who's eligible to come off the IR this season if they really want to go down that road again.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay. I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
4:05 start Eastern here. Let's head out to the West Coast here. Maybe some might call it the best coast. Can we get some heat and humidity in these ballparks and get some runs? We're talking about Baltimore and San Francisco. Not a ballpark notorious here for runs, but I got to tell you, some of these spots that you might just be passing over like, yeah, I'm not taking that over. I'm going to tell you why you should be in on some of these. Sugano versus Verlander today. It's the Orioles and the San Francisco Giants. The line overnight, minus 140s. That's dipped back a little bit here. FanDuel 138. You got 135 at BetMGM. Still have a 143 at DraftKings. And a total that opened up at 8.5 and still sits at 8.5. When I look at Verlander on my card today, I have him 20th out of 27 pitchers last 45 days in xFIP numbers. And also when I take a look at Sugano, he's 22nd here at a 4.68. ERA is much better, but we worry about analytics in just a few moments, Tom. I'm going to tell you why I like both of these lineups. But how do you feel on Baltimore and San Francisco, Sugano and Verlander?
Cautiously optimistic, I think, is the best way to put it, where we have seen a lot of scoring over these two teams. From these two teams in the past 2 games, were double digits from San Fran on Friday, 11 from the Orioles yesterday. We're getting some runs, and there is a little bit of a heat wave hitting the West Coast. It's obviously not as dramatic in this game as we'll get to in some of the next 2 games. And there is wind blowing out at 10 miles per hour, but the ballpark has been built to minimize the impacts of wind. But why not continue? Why not continue with the runs when these pitchers and ultimately now their bullpens, with Duvall gone from the Giants and the Orioles guy who's escaping me, who was traded to the Mets earlier, their bullpens are vastly weaker. Yeah, so the reliever was traded from the Orioles to the Mets, but their bullpens are weaker. So why not get runs across the board when we've seen great hitting environments over the past 2 days? And I don't want to say these teams have mailed it in, but let's go out there and put on a show and get some runs on the board.
Look, Sugano's been pretty good, but his analytic numbers are leaking a little bit. And here's sometimes where I get excited, because no teams impress me more than the teams that nobody wants to take, unless you get inside the numbers and go, should you actually be taking this team? Should you be backing them? And I got a lot of that like in midway through the season with the Chicago White Sox. That team thinks you can't bat and look at their record. No. They actually perform at the plate. They just can't pitch to save their lives. You look at the San Francisco Giants coming into today. Sugano's on the mound. He's a right-handed pitcher. Just take right-handed pitchers against that San Francisco Giants lineup, Tom, over the past 30 days with hard contact rate. Ramos, 48%. Devers, 70%. Adames, 46%. Dom Smith, 51%. Chapman, 43%. Schmidt, 52%. Jung-Ho Lee, 57%. Matos, 82%. Bailey, 48%. Like, everybody has hard contact. It's a decent barrel rate for them as well. But I just say, law of averages for me, it should start to weigh out at this point. By the way, they're BAPIPs. equally impressive against their hard contact rates. And maybe the good times do roll. If you are looking on the other side and say, well, Donnie, what's Verlander giving to you? Actually had a pretty good start last time out. 7 earned the timeout before that at San Diego. It's not a lineup I look at that I love, but the hard contact rate, Tommy, 7 out of 9 batters high. Barrel rates, Jackson, Henderson, Mountcastle, Cowser, Beavers, Carlson, 6 heavy-weighted barrels here. And I'm looking at a 7.5 and basically an 8.5 price saying, I think we can at least get to 3 or 4 runs aside, which puts you in that ballpark late in the game for a total.
It really does. And, one of the things for the Orioles is this season their pitching has been atrocious. But really, for the most part, like their hitters have basically shown up for the majority of the season. And they got hot for a little while. But again, they weren't losing games because of their hitting. They were losing games because they had Charlie Morton at the beginning of the year who was giving up 7 earned runs. And they still scored 5 of their own. But again, them getting runs across against Verlander, it's not going to shock me when we're dealing with above average hitting conditions in San Francisco.
Yeah, you look at Sugano again. He is 22nd on my card, and Verlander's 20th pitching in the same game. And they got to get 10 runs to score. No, they don't. You take an alt line with a little bit of juice at 7.5. You get around 8. The 8.5s with plus money at that point. You can certainly sort of cash in on some of those options here, and maybe I look forward to doing that a little bit later. Next game up on the docket here, we'll set it up for the next segment as well. Texas and the Athletics here. Jacob deGrom versus JT Ginn. A 10 number overnight. Hey, a buyback to 9.5 out there in Sacramento. But look at this favorite. DeGrom, a minus 175 price at FanDuel overnight. They dropped their price to 144. It's 150s or less across the marketplace here. What gives? Money coming in on the A's here, Tom.
I think money is coming in on the A's because of the weather. And it's 95 degrees out there in Sacramento. Not a whole lot of wind blowing out. A little light wind, 4 or 5 miles per hour. But the temperature at that ballpark increases the variance. So no matter how good DeGrom is, if the bullpen comes into play, they could give up 5 runs, and therefore the Athletics win. We'll touch on more because we're coming up against a break, but this is a very interesting game.
Yeah, also Jacob deGrom did get pushed back in that one start, Tom. He was still decent. 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, but still worried about those previous starts, the back-to-back 5 earned runs over 5 innings. And you're right, 97-degree temperatures. I'm going to tell you about a guy that's not going to be in that lineup for the A's today that you wish he was. Next.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Hopefully starting in 2027, where I think the schedule could just completely get blown up, which would be so exciting for the fans, the players. So there's interesting things that I've heard that that would be like one of the first things that could say that people are talking about, and that things could really get changed up a little bit.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Good news, bad news, but it's the same problem when they created this problem come draft day, right? We all knew you got too many quarterbacks. It's as simple as that. Unless one guy absolutely stinks, then you still have too many quarterbacks because you still got Deshaun Watson, who's eligible to come off the IR this season if they really want to go down that road again.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay. I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Back to that A's game here before we leave off and get to a couple other games, because there is, again, as Tom pointed out, 97-degree temperatures in Sacramento in that small ballpark and how it plays into it. But also, when we say don't give up on some of these teams, forget about winning the game, forget about Jacob deGrom pitching well. Something's up with that Texas Rangers lineup, too, because the hard contact rates and the barrel rates without a lot of named players, like, Donnie, Simeon, and also Seager's not going to be in there. It doesn't matter. That lineup looks good today for the Rangers for me.
It really does. And, I don't want to say this is the same thing, as I mentioned with the Phillies losing Wheeler, but losing Simeon, losing Seager, it's like, we got to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and have some type of rallying moment. But Smith, Langford, Peterson's been pretty terrible, but Garcia, Tellez, who I do like today, we'll get to that a little bit later, Josh Jung, Naheim, like they have some good hitters when it's all said and done. And obviously the Athletics pitching staff is not good. So seeing them get runs across the board in 95 or 97 degrees should not shock anyone.
Bouncing around the ballpark today. And again, guys, remember these seasons because they're not going to happen again. Sooner than later, we're going to be in Las Vegas with the Athletics in an air-conditioned dome that they'll probably use the humidity in there. And it's like, okay, back to 3-2 games like we used to see all the time in Oakland. You're taking a look at, we're going to rebuild the Trop and do this. Please don't do that. Stay outdoors. It has been so much fun watching those games in those two ballparks. Two of the worst hitting ballparks in baseball turn into two of the best hitting ballparks. That's how you know you're having a good time here. But let's keep moving down. The Los Angeles Dodgers not having a good time right now against Arizona Diamondbacks pitching. Eduardo Rodriguez is shutting you down. The guy doesn't shut anybody down. Completely shut down the Dodgers yesterday. Yamamoto's on the mound going up against Brandon Pfaadt. Monster favorite here, Tom. Opened up at minus 250 for the Dodgers overnight. Now we're seeing it down to the minus 220 prices here and nines across the board. Sooner than later, the Dodgers got to wake up in that heat and humidity today.
As I said at the top, the Dodgers losing games to a division rival, that's fine. Losing games to a division rival when it's been Zach Gallen and Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound, kind of unacceptable. Brandon Pfaadt is on the mound today. If they lose today, more importantly, if they lose today and they don't score runs today, that is an indictment on the Dodgers lineup. Brandon Pfaadt, when we're looking at things overall, 5.40 xFIP over the last 45 days. His ERA, 5.40 ERA. His xFIP is at 4.09 over the last 45 days, which is actually pretty solid. But when we're looking at these games for him, 6 earned runs and a home run, only 2 earned runs. He was going up against Cleveland. 4 earned runs, home run, 3 earned runs. He's giving up runs. He's giving up hits. The Dodgers have to get runs across the board. In the same time span, Yamamoto has been unbelievable, Donnie. 3.82 ERA. His xFIP is even lower at 3.12. This is the time for them to be the Dodgers, to go out there and have 8 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts over 6 innings for Yamamoto, only 1 or 2 earned runs, and they have to score against Brandon Pfaadt. And the Diamondbacks still have a bottom 5 bullpen when it's all said and done. Score some runs today.
Yeah, Yamamoto, you take a look at that 3.12 xFIP, Tom, over the past 45 days and a 3.36 Sierra, and you might find yourself saying, like, wait a second, I don't understand. Why is this total around 9? Like, shouldn't Yamamoto shut it down? Understand this. Usually really good pitching is going to beat out really good hitting. That's what the playoffs are built on. That's why Major League Baseball, you don't see like 9 to 8 games every night in the playoffs. Good bullpens, good starters, and that's what happens. But if you look at the last 30 days here, Tom, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, their hard contact rate and barrel rate is maybe the best in Major League Baseball. It's astounding. They lost players, and they're still every bit as good. Now, also, you look at Yamamoto's last 3 starts. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. That's good. 7 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. That's good. He got lumped up a little bit against the Angels, 4 2/3 innings at 6 earned runs. But again, we're telling you about the flip side, right? If you can get a couple runs out of the Diamondbacks, that still means heavy lifting has supposed to be done by the Dodgers. And just some of those metrics that we love, hard hit contact rate, Tom, all 9 batters anticipated today, all elevated for the Dodgers. Barrel rates. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high barrel rates over the past 30 days for the Dodgers batters against right-handed pitching. Tom pointed out 92-degree temperatures. But here's the fun part, right? Like the BABIP numbers. This is why the Dodgers are held down. Freddie Freeman has a 14% barrel rate and a 241 BABIP number. Makes no sense. Teoscar Hernandez, 69 at-bats, 18% barrel rate, 225 BABIP. You take a look at Andy Pages, 12% barrel rate over his last 80 at-bats, Tom, 283 BABIP. And Alex Freeland, 66 at-bats, 60% hard contact rate, 11% barrel rate, 286 BABIP. Something has to change, and we think it's changing today.
Again, if they can't do this against Brandon Pfaadt, not good. And
Shut it down.
I have Freddie Freeman for a prop, which we're coming up to in the next few segments. I have Freddie Freeman for a prop today. I like what he's done this season. He's been arguably the second best hitter on the team third best hitter outside of Ohtani, Will Smith, if he's in there today, and Freddie Freeman. And Fott's been terrible. It's 90-plus degrees. You have to get it done. Give me some runs from the Dodgers, and Freddie Freeman will lead the way.
Come on, Dodgers. Let's get some runs today. Let's take a look at that final game tonight in Philadelphia. Philadelphia Phillies looking for a 4-game sweep over the Atlanta Braves. Usually that'd be a huge story because the Braves and the Phillies usually tangling to try to win that division. Not the case this year. The Braves are done. Got a good performance yesterday out of Sale, but just wasn't good enough because their bats didn't show up. I got a problem with this guy, Hurston Waldrop. Where did he come from, and what the hell is going on? First start, Tom, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Second start, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Third start, 6 innings pitched, no earned runs. Fourth start, 7 innings pitched, no earned runs. Fifth start, they lit him up. 5 1/3, 1 earned run. Who is this guy?
I will say,
man,
every time a Braves pitcher comes up, he does well in his first few starts, whether it's Schwellenbach, whether it's Smith-Shawver. We got to look at, Donnie, I will say, those starts have been great, but Cincinnati, Miami, Cleveland, Chicago White Sox, Miami again.
That's true.
Not the top of the line talent when it comes to who he's facing. And you could say Cleveland, they had been playing better as of late, but that's not like murderer's row that he has to be tested against in his first few starts. So when we're looking at Waldrop, when it comes to his minor league numbers, like he had some pretty good strikeout stuff in minor league numbers, middle of the road, 25, 23% strikeout rate, doesn't allow a whole lot of home runs. He's going up against the Phillies today, Donnie. I would not be buying into a 30-inning sample size of what we've gotten from him over 5 starts as an indication of what we should be getting from him tonight. He's 23. He has 30 innings pitched at the major league level against super soft competition. I think the Phillies bounce back. Luzardo on the other side, we know, has had to put together a fantastic season. It's arguably one of the best he's ever had. Give me the Phillies to come away with a sweep. As for runs tonight, Phillies team total is probably the best way to go about it.
Look at Luzardo's last 45 days here. 4.43 ERA, but analytics likes him a lot. 3.43 xFIP number, 3.43 Sierra number. So very good numbers there. You take a look at Waldrop. Again, his ERA, 0.90. Now, granted, he does have a FIP number of 232. xFIP is still manageable, 370. His ERA minus is a 21. His FIP minus is a 59. Like, he has some insane numbers. But also, let's get back to the fun and some things that don't make any sense. You saw the Philadelphia Phillies and Kyle Schwarber in the Mets here. I think it was like 0-18, like didn't even get a base knock. Then he rips the cover off the baseball starting in the Braves series. Did you know this last month? Like, numbers that don't make sense. Schwarber's hard contact rate, Tom, is 78%. His barrel rate is 29% against right-handed pitching. His BABIP is a 211. Some things just don't compute. Bryce Harper, same thing. High barrel rate, hard contact rate, 238 BABIP. JT Realmuto, 61% hard contact rate, 11% barrel, 223 BABIP number. Like, some things have to change. Like, how is that possible for Schwarber?
Well, we got to remember for BABIP, home runs are obviously not factored into that.
True.
Because it's batting average of balls in play, and a home run is not a ball in play.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
It means that, like, he should be having more doubles down the line, more
home
doubles off the wall, more singles. Yeah, so it is. I mean, that's kind of been Schwarber's thing his whole career. Yeah. So I would say, for as good as his numbers have been in the home runs, the normal base hits, I guess we'll just call them that, obviously balls in play, those should actually be increasing. That's not a surprise with those numbers.
Yeah, I guess you just take Kyle Schwarber and say, like, don't worry about over bases. Like, it's just a home run, and that's what you're banking on. Because if your barrel rate is that high, like, two things can happen, right? Barrel rate 30% roughly, and BABIP 211. Like, yeah, every ball's leaving the ballpark at that point right now. Yeah. How about a couple off the wall, Schwarber, even out that BABIP number that we have at this point? But Waldrop has been fantastic. But as Tom pointed out, not necessarily going up against murderer's row. 75-degree temperatures in Philadelphia. Very light wind blowing in from right field. Should be a good hitting environment. And also keep in mind, it's not a day game here. So this is going to be a night game. Not going to have to worry about any shadows in the middle of the afternoon. Hey, can't see the baseball. You'll see it just fine tonight. Sunday night baseball and also Sunday night football tonight. Those Hurricanes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's neither here nor there. Let's get back to baseball next.
Time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Hopefully starting in 2027, where I think the schedule could just completely get blown up, which would be so exciting for the fans, the players. So there's interesting things that I've heard that that would be like one of the first things that could say that people are talking about, and that things could really get changed up a little bit.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Good news, bad news, but it's the same problem when they created this problem come draft day, right? We all knew you got too many quarterbacks. It's as simple as that. Unless one guy absolutely stinks, then you still have too many quarterbacks, because you still got Deshaun Watson, who's eligible to come off the IR this season if they really want to go down that road again.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay. I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Get involved, people. It's Pro Baseball Today. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Tom Vecchio. It's a Sunday, the only place to be on the SportsGrid network. It is the last day in the month of August, which means September is tomorrow, and that means it's football season. So football is going to take control on SportsGrid every single Sunday, as it should. So last little go-around to give out some picks for the people to put a little bit more money in their pocket. And the segment that we have right now is called Sell Me Something, which means a player that you might not be paying attention to today that you should be paying more attention to put more money in your pocket. Tom, who's that player for you?
Yeah, let's go to the team, or one of the teams we just spoke about, and that's Freddie Freeman for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I like him for 2+ hits today at +190. Now, this is different than 2+ total bases. Obviously, it has to be 2+ hits. He could get the 2+ total bases in one hit, and obviously all these permutations. But as I said, beautiful hitting weather out there in LA today for the Dodgers. Brandon Pfaadt has been absolutely terrible. Freddie Freeman, awesome for the Dodgers really the entire season outside the beginning when he was a little bit injured. But +190, the hitting environment is there, the matchup is there, the number is there for him. More importantly, I see this as a way to go about getting a piece of the Dodgers without going to their money line. So Freddie Freeman come through, 2+ hits, +190.
There you go. Sneaky little action for me. I'm going to go with the team total, Tom, and it's a low team total. It's 3.5 at a -125 price. It's on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Maybe you're not paying attention to him, and yes, Giolito is a pretty good pitcher, but the analytic numbers tell me a little bit different story, where we don't need 6, 7, 8, 9 runs to cash it in. You need 4 runs here. If I look at that Pittsburgh lineup against right-handed pitching over the past month, Tom, I got 7+ batters with hard contact and also an additional 6 batters with a high barrel rate. You're playing at Fenway here. Runs shouldn't be hard to come by, but there's no reason to believe that you can't get 2 runs early, meaning in the first 5 innings, and then pick off a couple in extra innings if you need them, or just late in the game. 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, and you always get the extra bat on the road, making sure you get those 9 innings. Like, oh, man, they had 3 runs. Would have loved to see him in the bottom of the 9th inning. Not the case here. Pittsburgh is always going to have that. If I do look at the starting pitcher on that side, Giolito is a good pitcher, but Giolito also has some high metrics, which include a 4.86 SIERA number. I'm going with the team here that many people will pass over. I think there's a legitimate chance we get 4 runs here in the marketplace going up against Giolito and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know if they win the game, but I don't care. Score 4 runs, I win a bet, and that's all I care about here. Tom, let's get to some pitching props here. Are we keeping it in Boston today?
We are, and that's going to Giolito, and it's not his strikeouts. Let's go to over 17.5 outs recorded. And again, Giolito is a good pitcher. I do expect him to give up some runs, but the Red Sox bullpen has also been taxed over the past couple days with this series against the Pirates, and knowing what they have coming up, they need Giolito out there for some length. So seeing him go 8 innings in a couple of these recent starts is obviously fantastic, knowing that they'll let him go that deep into the game, but we don't need him to get to 8. We need him to get into that 6th inning. So I like him to get to 6. I like him to keep things under control moderately today. Again, 2 or 3 earned runs over 6 innings still gets him a quality start if you want to use that term, but he gets the 6. The Red Sox win the game, but it's not going to be pretty once the bullpen comes in. I do think Donnie's bet will cash. Red Sox win this 6-4.
Let's go. Oh, I love 6-4 action, man. Hitting totals out there, people getting RBIs, people getting runs, people getting home runs. That's what we want to see. I'm going to take my pitching prop here out to the West Coast. I'm going to go after Justin Verlander. It's simple to me. I don't think he's a very good pitcher overall. If you look at his statistics, okay, 108 xFIP minus over the past 45 days, 446 xFIP number, and you take a look at a general number on the Sierra as well, right around that xFIP number. But if we are looking at Verlander, last time he threw 100 pitches, it was in I'm dating this back about a month here. Threw 100 pitches, went 5 innings, and no earned runs. He followed the next startup, still threw 100 pitches, but I don't care. I'm squared with the 100 before that. He actually gave up 5 earned runs. Do you know what happened his last start? Threw 101 pitches, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. His next start, I expect him to get hit today. I don't need him to be phenomenal. I don't need him to be terrible. I just need him out of the game under 16 and a half outs. If you also look at his pitching performances here, there's a lot of 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 7 innings, 4 1/3, and 6 innings. So we're probably looking at that game plan. Hey, kid, I call Verlander a kid. Get me through 5 innings. We hand it over to the bullpen. We'll see what happens. I don't think he pitches more than 5 innings. I'm going under, Tom, 16 and a half outs here.
And it also is in line with the nice hitting weather that we spoke about for that game. A little bit warmer than you would expect in San Francisco. Some 10-mile-per-hour wind blowing out, and we've seen some runs left, right, and center from both of these teams over the first 2 days. So all it takes is 3 earned runs in the first 4 innings, a couple hits, and a walk to lead off that 5th inning. He's pulled out of there.
There you go. Let's get into some action environment, which means hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Tom, let's get after it here. Tom's bombs. 3 players that you figure are going yard today.
Yeah, let's get to Roman Anthony right off the top at plus 600 versus Mitch Keller. Right from the jump, I love the matchup versus Mitch Keller. I think the number is wrong on Roman Anthony. Donnie, we talked about his hard contact rate, his barrel rate. I think this number should be at 425, 450. So as good as I think Roman Anthony is, I think the number is wrong on him. So I want to make a play on that number just as much as I want to be attacking Mitch Keller when it's all said and done. Rowdy Tellez for the Rangers going up against JT Ginn. It is scorching hot out there in Sacramento. We absolutely love attacking that. The lefty-righty splits are there. JT Ginn is a good pitcher when it's all said and done. And the Rangers lineup, all of a sudden, they're scoring runs when 2 of their best hitters, Simeon and Seager, are out. So we will go to Rowdy Tellez at a good number. And then Jorge Polanco. Donnie, we talked about the numbers for the Mariners going up against Tanner Bybee. How the hard contact rates are there, the barrel rates are there for all of them. And again, I said this was one of the most interesting games on the slate. I don't expect the Mariners to get swept, and I expect runs across the board against Tanner Bybee. All great numbers. Roman Anthony is my favorite, though.
I love this, too. I love the way we're setting this up because we look at my home run props here. We have a lot of the same ballpark environments and the same feeling and thought-out process. Jock Peterson, left-handed batter. I went with him for a home run shot today. Hard contact rate, 68% over the past month. Barrel rate of close to 14%. Ginn struggles with lefties here. And also, I think we're both just looking at the environment saying, all right, just give me a guy that has a little bit of pop, put me in a 96 degree weather temperature place, and I'll be just fine there. That's the one going with first. Jock Peterson at a plus 390 price. Eugenio Suarez. How about that? Going to go with a little action here for the Seattle Mariners, similar to Tom. I just think there's pop that's going to be available today, and at a price point I couldn't pass up at a plus 420. And then Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs. Why do I like this game? Well, I don't think Tanner Gordon's going to hold up, but also it's the Chicago Cubs in Colorado, people. So, yes, the ball's going to travel more. Give me a Happ. Left-handers should be able to give Gordon some issues at a plus 255 price. So, when we're looking at some of these as they match up, just get us 1 each out of these 3, and we'll be living large today, Tom.
That's what we like to see. Last home runs of the season that we're giving up. We have one more segment coming up, giving up our last few plays. We got some dogs to get through, and then we close things out.
Dogs, and more dogs on the final day of August. The dog days of summer. They'll eat next. Find out who they are.
on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Hopefully starting in 2027, where I think the schedule could just completely get blown up, which would be so exciting for the fans, the players. So there's interesting things that I've heard that that would be like one of the first things that could say that people are talking about, and that things could really get changed up a little bit.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Good news, bad news, but it's the same problem when they created this problem come draft day, right? We all knew you got too many quarterbacks. It's as simple as that. Unless one guy absolutely stinks, then you still have too many quarterbacks, because you still got Deshaun Watson, who's eligible to come off the IR this season if they really want to go down that road again.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay. I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Final segment here, Pro Baseball Today. Oh, what a good 5 months it's been. It's Donnie Rightside and it's Tom Vecchio. We're going to send you off with even some more winners at this point, but it's great. It's the last day of August. Tomorrow is September. You do have Miami and you do have Notre Dame later today, but you got a ton of Major League Baseball in between that we can cash in some tickets on, Tom. How are we feeling here? Nice little send-off show.
I'm feeling great. It was a great season. We covered every Sunday. We covered every game. Like, that is something to be said, whether it was the game or the day leading up to the All-Star break, where we had a shortened show and we still got through all 15 games in an hour. We did that. We went through award races, went through division markets. We went through everything you could possibly name it every single week. We touched on trades as we were approaching the trade deadline, how the markets moved prior to and after the trade deadline. You name it, we did it all this season.
We did it all, people, which means we got to get to some of those big dogs that are biting out there, Tom.
Let's get to it. Big dog of the day, White Sox. White Sox.
There you go, Tom. Talk over it. Where that big dog at? Get it.
White Sox coming away with the win today, plus 164. I believe Martin Perez is a bad pitcher. He really is. But Luis Gil and the number you are getting on the Yankees at an over minus 180, minus 190 price, whatever it is too much considering the recent results that he's had. And yes, at a box score level, those recent results have only given up literally one earned run in multiple consecutive starts is good to see, but the walks are an issue. The xFIP is super, super high. It's the second worst on the slate behind Senga today. I also believe that the Yankees may be taking this game lightly, knowing that this is a look-ahead spot because they swept the Nats. They're won 3 out of 4 versus the White Sox, and on Tuesday, they start a series versus the Astros, a team they desperately want to beat and at least play well against. So Martin Perez at this number is exactly the type of pitcher the Yankees will struggle against. So give me the White Sox at plus 164.
How about that? Plus 164 there. Going with Martin Perez. Guy's been lights out his past 2 starts. Does it continue today? For me, I hate the Mets lineup. Like, I don't want to go against the Mets lineup, but that's why we take underdogs. Nothing is going to look pretty here. The Marlins are at a plus 150 price for a reason today. They're not as good as the Mets, but I got to tell you, Kodai Senga has not bounced back yet. And if I'm looking at Senga's normal 5 innings pitched, 3 or 4 earned runs that he's been giving up, I'm going to take the Marlins today. The hard contact rate is there. The barrel rate is there. And also, resurgence in this season for Sandy Alcantara here, Tom. A couple good starts in a row. Let the good starts happen, and maybe that momentum of the Phillies series that the Mets have is all gone, and the pressure is now on the New York Mets and Senga, who hasn't been good. Plus 150 price. Ring the bell for me, Tom. The Marlins in a sweep over the Mets.
This is the classic double dip spot that I like to call it, a win-win for you specifically as a Phillies fan, because, hey, you cash a plus 150. You'll take that every single day of the week. And you'll also take the Mets losing, getting swept by the Marlins after sweeping your Phillies. Could be a big day for Donnie.
Could be a big day today. Another big day because we do have college football. Still have a doubleheader. By the way, Tom, you on the air today on the SportsGrid Network for the rest of the day? Any IGL appearances for you?
No, none today. Tomorrow, though, 1 to 4 IGL with Joe Ranieri. Yeah. We obviously have all-day baseball games tomorrow that we'll be going through. We have the UNC TCU game tomorrow night, which we'll be previewing. And then, of course, we have football starting on Thursday. We'll probably touch in on that as well.
Quick week here, by the way, on the SportsGrid Network, too. I mean, it is a holiday weekend. I don't have any action tomorrow on the early line, but certainly we'll be around doing some things. And also, more importantly, waiting until we get through Tuesday and Wednesday and then the NFL. As fast as this show went over the past 5 months, we're going to be talking, Tom, together somewhere on this network. Like, can you believe it's week 17 of the regular season in the NFL? Like, yes, it's going to go that quick. Enjoy these times. Because, by the way, we're already down basically week 0 and week 1 in college football. See how quickly it's already moving? 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s. So just cherish those times and always make sure you bet accordingly. But also, Tom, it is Labor Day weekend. Do people like to relax? Are we having any beverages today? Are we going anywhere? Do we have food set up? What's the deal today?
I saw some friends yesterday. Didn't have any shows yesterday, so saw friends yesterday. You know, I'm thinking after this, got to go out to a deli, get something nice to celebrate season, or I should say our show is over, get ready for tomorrow's show, and we'll roll ready into football season.
Firing up the Weber grill for me, Tom. Going to put a couple steaks out there. Got the asparagus already marinating, ready to go today. It's a big holiday weekend and big cash left on the table. So that'll do it, Tom. 5 months of Major League Baseball shows on a Sunday, your place to be. We'll probably do it again next year and have some fun, but it is time on the SportsGrid Network to hand it over to football season. We hope that Donnie Rightside and Tom Vecchio did you guys well, and you had enjoyment here on those Sundays because we had to carry you through those summer months to push it off the football season, which is here now. So for Donnie Rightside and Tom Vecchio, thanks for tuning in here. AJ behind the scenes making us look good. Thanks for tuning in to the Pro Baseball Show. We'll see you when you see you.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Giants are probably going to open up 1-5 on the season. So then you start to say the fans are getting angry. They just want to see Dart. The ownership's like, hey, you know what? Maybe we make the right move with Russ here. But then you have self-preservation mode with the general manager and the head coach where it almost seems like it's inevitable. Midway through the season, it's going to have to be Jackson Dart. Otherwise, what are we doing, Giants?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It should be illegal for Scotty Scheffler to play on the PGA Tour. This guy can't be stopped. Another victory at the BMW Championship. He has a chip on the 17th, which will go down in the history books. 82 feet, landed 60 feet short, and then rolled the rest of the way. Super exciting win again for Scheffler, who is not only the best golfer in the world, he's becoming one of the best golfers of all time.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
It doesn't matter that they're early in the game, late in the game, they're trailing, they're leading. It doesn't matter garbage time. CeeDee Lamb is the guy, and we saw that even after Dak got hurt last year and Cooper Rush was under center. Targets were going to CeeDee Lamb. And when you can get 9, 10, 12, 15 targets on a game-by-game basis, he's going to rack up fantasy points every single week. Frankly, he underperformed last year.
Game time decisions, only on